Oh, we should talk about white tea.
This is the Sports Porch, Black and Gold, with your hosts, the technical director, the Grand Schwabini, and Hockey Jesus. Come on, Pittsburgh. Let's show a little Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates love. The Sports Porch Black and Gold starts now. Boom. Did you guys like that? Me copying the no. Okay. Anyway,
I mean, you created it for a reason.
The Sports Porch Black and Gold starts right now. And yes, we're back. It's Monday night at 7:30 p.m. We are faithful to you as you are faithful to us. We are all over the world on Facebook, YouTube, and X. And yes, you can go to radiopgh.com and you can stream it on our live radio station. I'm going to drop the podcast right after the show on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts.
Marvin's already in the house. What's up, Marvin?
Hey, Marvin. Hey, second week in a row, periwinkle shirt.
That's
more of a
I wore this for you.
Did you?
Hell
All
yeah,
right.
I did.
It is funny. On the camera, it looks periwinkle, but live, it looks almost gray.
It's blue, motherfucker. Look, I mean, it's
not blue.
Fucking blue.
It's closer to purple
guys,
or lavender or
guys,
periwinkle.
Tell me what color my shirt is, please. Okay.
Amy will be honest.
The Grand Schwabini says it's periwinkle. He says it's gray. I say it's blue.
No, I said live it looks gray.
Yeah.
Amy, what do you say? What color
shirt
shirt is Chris wearing?
Yeah. Okay. So there was another thing I was going to talk about. I think it was our website, theporchislive.com, theporchislive.com.
How about that new logo?
Lavender.
Theporchislive.com. And yes, new logo. You can see it up in the top right or left-hand corner of your screen. You can see it behind us. We want to thank Max, Steve's son, for putting this together for it.
Why don't we take ourselves down for a second and let everybody take a look at it for a minute?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Let's. You want to do that? I don't know if they can.
Sure.
They'll still. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
guys.
Yes. Tell us what you think of the new logo. We would love to hear that.
That's right. That's my son. He did it at mad_about_design. He's a he's a freelancer.
Well,
you know,
type it in. Go ahead and type it in
yeah,
and put
sure.
it up. So
I'll put it up. I'll put it up in the comments.
We'll
give him a follow on Instagram.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of good stuff out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris Chata wants to know if we're staying cool. First of all, it doesn't get any cooler than this room. Second of all,
ridiculous.
It's like South Florida hot there this week. I can attest for that. I got back from South Florida about 5 days ago, and it feels almost exactly the same.
It's so hot, I thought I saw a gator going across the street.
There you go.
Downtown Pittsburgh.
Yep. Didn't see that gator down there on Fifth Avenue.
Didn't see that gator?
Yeah. All right. We're already kind of off track, and maybe Pat's watching, maybe he's not. But this is the Sports Porch Black and Gold, and we're going to talk Steelers. We're going to talk Penguins. We're going to talk Pirates. The Grand Schwabini wants to talk a little NBA. I think it's actually a pretty funny take, to be honest with you. Hockey Jesus to my right in the house here.
The season is not over.
I
refuse to believe.
He's upset that the actual action part of the season for NHL is over. But the draft is coming up. There have been some changes with the Penguins. A new coach for one of them, a new assistant coach.
Lots of new assistants.
Yeah. All kinds of rumors abound. I want to get your take on those. I really do.
There are a lot. We promised OC Chris Chata that we talk about.
Yeah,
rumors abound.
That's true. So I'm interested. So there's going to be some HJ talk. Did I say anything about the NBA yet? No.
You
Yes,
did. You said
did.
that I might have some comments on it, and you
That's
said
right.
to be honest with you, I think you'll like the takes. And
Yeah, that's right.
But I
Good.
say no, Chris. Keep lying to us.
I'm glad you're keeping me on track.
Mhm.
What else are we going to talk? Well, we have a snack time. It's
Snack,
Trader
the
Joe's
most
snack
important
time.
thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We've got an interesting what we're watching tonight. This is how we give back to you for real. And I mean, it doesn't get any more giving back than when you actually grant somebody time.
Mhm.
I mean,
yeah.
And this was a struggle for me.
Yeah.
Right. To quote the great Gordon Gekko, the only thing more valuable than time is information. I totally made that up.
Yeah,
because,
you did.
Because I had a Gordon Gekko quote in my mind.
For lack of a better word, greed.
Greed is good.
Greed is good. I know that, but there are other lines. Anyway. So let's dive right in. First of all, sorry.
You love
Wall
that
Street.
guy.
You can't handle the truth.
You know, no, that's
Oh,
yeah,
that was
okay.
Jack.
Okay.
Jack
Good
Nicholson.
try. Good
Yeah,
try.
Sorry.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson. Anyway,
Sorry, folks. Moose outside should have told you. Park's closed.
vacation. There it is.
Can we get on to
Yeah,
my
what
favorite
the fuck?
subject?
I mean, come on. Yeah, the Pirates. So
Yeah,
what I want to do is
the
I just
Pirates.
look. Everybody's been talking about ever since the change at manager, Donnie Kelly, Pittsburgh guy, yada yada yada. We've heard the stories.
Donnie K.
And the Pirates were at one point 500 or one game over 500 with him.
Yeah, 2 games. I think it is peak
I don't know what it is right now.
when they had that streak going.
Probably back to 500.
No, they're 3 games under 500 with him.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Man, you're on it tonight, HJ.
I was listening to some sports talk.
You're the best.
I absorb it.
Still an improvement.
You're
right?
absolutely the best. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it still is an improvement over old Shelty.
Well, so I guess the point I'm trying to get at here is that the pitching is still fairly phenomenal, and the hitting is legendary already for being bad. So we're going to go down that road, but I just want to give you another thing here that I don't think gets talked about enough, and I'm going to toot my own horn on this, and then I'm going to let you guys like stomp all over my face. Although I don't think
Our favorite thing to do.
I know.
Mhm.
I know. That's why I invite you here every week. So I try to bring a little joy into your life. Let's watch this. Let's just watch this.
To follow here. And that's who's going to come up with 2 men on. And that is the 7th error by Cruz.
I love how he makes no
Instead of
effort.
first
just
and
lets
second.
it
Goes by him.
It's a run
I guess
in
it's a
and
former
man at third,
shortstop,
and
and he
nobody
lets that happen.
I mean, to be honest with you, okay,
man.
look, everybody has seen this highlight. And everybody, I think, thinks that I don't think there's anybody out there thinking like, cut the guy a break, right?
No.
No.
Probably not. Maybe a 9-year-old kid who's like a Cruz fanatic,
Mhm.
but not grown people. I mean, how can you look at that?
Mm-mm.
No,
So
you can't.
how long have I been saying that O'Neal Cruz is not that great a baseball player?
Pretty much from the very beginning.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's true.
I had
I think you said you were given the benefit of the doubt,
exactly.
but I don't think you lasted a full year and you were just like, I'm done with this guy.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not a scout, but it doesn't take a genius to look and see what the scouts saw,
Right.
and then B, what's actually happening on the field.
I mean, it's
know-
clear he's got some physical attributes.
You know what
that
they
should-
saw? I'm going to tell you what they saw.
All right.
They saw a launch angle and an exit velocity that they thought was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Speed
because
and
it
power,
is.
right?
It is ridiculous.
Yeah. Speed and power.
Other than that, I don't think they cared whether or not he could field. and I think they thought if he,
figured they could turn him into a fielder
Right.
somehow. Some way.
right. Look, you can't. He's not. All right.
Who
And,
have the Pirates ever developed, anyways?
nobody recently,
Nobody.
other than maybe pitching, but O'Neal Cruz is not the savior of the Pittsburgh Pirates. He never was. I never bought into it, and he never will be. And
That's true.
I say that full well knowing that, sometimes, next year could be year 4, his fourth full year in the majors, right? Or third full year.
Something like that.
I think third.
I think it's third full year because he had the year
right,
that. So, could he turn it on? Yeah, but we're kind of getting past the point where the learning.
Well, he's not a smart baseball player.
Right.
Yeah. That's the problem.
I agree with Mark. He has no baseball sense at all.
Right.
Like, even when he's running the bases, like, I'm surprised he knows to touch all the bases when he's running around. That's how little baseball knowledge he has.
I mean, that's really bad, dude.
I know it's bad, but you're not surprised by it when he makes a mistake. You're just like, yep, that's what he does, But man, that exit velocity when he hit that ball, that was great.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem with the Pirates. They just have too much. I don't even know how to say it. They have too much interest in all the wrong things.
Yeah, I mean, we can sit here and debate, too much interest in all the wrong things all we want. The interesting thing about this is it's almost a comedy. The Pirates are fifth best, in the National League. I didn't go back to the American League because I thought, whatever. They play more games against the NL. Anyway,
yeah,
they're fifth best in the and they have to beat the NL to get to the World Series. They're fifth best in the National League in pitching, in giving up in runs allowed. And let's face it, ERA, all the others, lots of innings, strikeouts, low walk ratio, all that kind of stuff. That plays into it. But the bottom line is, runs are how you win in baseball. So if you're the team that's fifth lowest in giving up runs, whether you got a good closer, bad closer, then with an average major league lineup, you're going to have probably 5 to 10 more victories.
Yeah.
Still be under 500. But you're teetering because nobody scores runs on you at all.
I would actually say different than that. I think if you had an average major league lineup, you would have a winning record.
Well, look, I'm willing to say it's possible.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, think about this. Okay, so we all know Paul Skeens. What's his ERA, like 1.76 or something?
Yeah, I mean,
and what is he?
I'll look it up.
And what is he? 4-7.
Yeah.
Now
well, and Keller?
Well, and here's the thing. Look, Keller's ERA. I mean, look, it's nothing to write home about.
Skiing is 1.85.
1.85. And what's he? 4-7.
4-6 still.
4-6.
Yeah.
So
he didn't even get that win the other night.
He didn't get anything in
right.
Detroit.
6
yeah,
innings and nothing.
but in all seriousness, like Mitch Keller doesn't have a terrible ERA. It's 4.02.
Yeah.
That is not a 1-10 ERA.
No.
I mean, Taijuan Walker on the Phillies a couple years ago had like a 4.6 ERA and he was like 15-7.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. It's
like,
because the offense scores runs.
Right. I mean, that is so piss poor. 1-10 with a 4 ERA.
Yeah.
I mean, that means half of the games he's given up 3 runs and you should win.
I'm telling you, look, we're on the Pittsburgh show. When we go on the Philly show, the Grant Schwabini doesn't want me to bring up Pittsburgh. I get chastised for it.
Well, I know I did commit an error there.
Yeah.
I committed an error, and I will take it on the chin.
What I'm saying is,
but it's a good equivalency.
It was a good equivalency.
What I'm saying is, this is also, I'm kind of opening up Pandora's box by doing this. But of course, I'm going to make an Orioles reference.
But see, that's where you went too far.
Yeah. No.
Only if it's a good equivalency.
Nobody cares about the wimpy bird.
It will
be the judge of that.
It will be a good. It could. What bird? The rat bird.
I said it's a wimpy bird.
Oh, it's a wimpy bird. So
you're going to tell us about playing every game?
No, I'm not going down the Cal Ripken road. Okay, you son of a bitch.
Cal Ripken.
No,
it's a lonely road.
It is a lonely road for me. I admit that completely. So anyway, my point was that it's going to pass the equivalency test.
Okay, let's hear it.
If the Orioles had Mitch Keller on their rotation, they would have 5 to 7 more wins because their pitching is what is completely destroying them. Now, they've had some injuries. So their hitting isn't as good right now as it was last year, but they've got these guys coming back. And if they were to trade for Mitch Keller, they could turn their season around.
Well, they can very soon.
Does it meet the equivalency?
No,
test?
that's a good thing to say, because on other teams that have good hitting, that ERA, to Mark's point, isn't that bad.
Right.
But for the Pirates, it is. Also, Paul Skeens, he's only 4-6. He's second on the team with wins.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Falter has 5 or 6.
He had 6. He's 6-3 with a 3.59 ERA.
Hey, but listen up, Pittsburgh. Don't you worry, because we're getting pretty close to midseason. And after that, historically, Bailey Falter and Mitch Keller, well, they get a little tired. Yep. They really do.
Time to get rid of them. That's what I say.
And I haven't watched Falter as much. I've watched Keller's career. So I want to make it very clear that I don't think that Mitch Keller becomes horrible.
Yeah.
After the break. I think what happens is psychologically he's worn out, because at that point, even right now, there are players on the Pirates that are thinking, if we only could turn this around for a little bit. There are players as a player.
You think they still go there?
As a player.
Wow.
Not as an organization.
No.
But
even some players are like that.
I think Henry Davis wants to win.
Okay.
I mean,
fair enough.
He's never really lost.
The reason I ask is because Ke'Bryan Hayes and Brian Reynolds have some pretty good contracts, right?
Yeah.
They're paid handsomely for the Pirates. Not by MLB standards, but for the Pirates, they're top notch, right?
Right.
Ke'Bryan Hayes is batting .230. Brian Reynolds is batting .229. Ke'Bryan Hayes only has 2 home runs, and Reynolds has 8 home runs. That's awful.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that, they're not getting paid handsomely by MLB standards, but from a Pittsburgh Pirates standpoint, we should be down more on these guys.
Well, yeah,
than we are.
No, I do believe that
that's terrible.
His Reynolds total contract's over $100 million, and I think Ke'Bryan Hayes, when he signed,
80,
it was like
something.
it was like 77 million or 80
one's
million.
making like 7 million. The other's making like 10 million. I don't feel like looking it up, but I mean, that's when you're in Pittsburgh, that's a handsome contract.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
and they're doing crap that they're contributing to the problem. I mean, they need to pick it up, and somebody needs to start calling them out. And I think we just did.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'll be looking for that phone call.
But the thing is, like, I still can't even get excited about it. Let's say they go on a tear where, they bat 400 over the next 3 weeks. What do they win? Like 3 more games?
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing. I mean, like I was thinking, and
still not enough.
Sorry, but I think there's an equivalency here.
Okay.
It better be. We're going to hold you to it.
When the Pirates swept the Phillies, Steve, our Yinzer guy, he couldn't even take any joy in it.
He couldn't,
because he knew it meant nothing.
It's true.
His response was just like, well, the Phillies are streaky. And he was right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is true. It's hard. Even when they had that, like, I think that was a streak where they won like 6 out of 8 or something like that. And they were actually like playing some pretty good ball.
Yeah.
But you just know it's not going to last. You just know. It's just,
I don't.
It's like anything. Teams get hot, like 2 weeks in the season all the time. That's their 2 weeks for the season. We may not see it again.
Maybe.
Right.
That wasn't even that hot, Yeah.
I mean, look,
it was for the Pirates.
They'll probably win 5 in a row at some point, but it's not going to mean anything.
I know. So
they'll be sellers. I mean, they're going to start selling off things.
They have to.
Yeah.
They have to. But hey, look,
and there's not even a Cal Ripken on the team.
I know, and if there was, they could retire his number as the greatest player of all time.
They've played a total of 79 games, and the most games played is Brian Reynolds at 73.
Yeah,
and Ke'Bryan Hayes at 72. They don't even have a frickin' Cal Ripken just show up every day.
Brian Reynolds 74, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, 74.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, they don't even have somebody who just shows up.
Yeah. True.
Like Cal Ripken.
Right. All the time.
All the time. So we could, like, every time he goes out there.
Junior. Get it straight. Junior. Although senior was I read Cal Ripken's books. I mean, he's an author
as well.
He had a biography. Yes.
An autobiography.
Yes. An autobiography.
So what's the
A
bottom,
memoir.
Yeah.
what's the bottom line on the Pirates? So we don't care anymore. I mean,
the bottom
where are we
line
going to go from here?
You know what? Here's the bottom line.
I think Marvin states it well. Downhill from there, wherever there is.
Yeah. The bottom line on the Pirates is once again this year, as we have become painfully used to, the most exciting time of the year is going to be the trade deadline.
To see who they get rid of.
And it's right. It's not who are they going to get. It's sadness.
Well, does that
who
mean
are we going to lose?
Does that mean they're going to have to bring some guys up? Like
I don't.
There are no guys to bring up.
Well, the interesting thing
That's
is,
the thing.
like take Paul Skeens out of the equation because I don't think he's not going anywhere.
Sidebar on this, I love the guy, great pitcher. I'm so sick of saying his name.
Well, it's because it's the only
There's
thing that's
no
good.
other name to say.
Right.
So please continue.
Well, that's exactly what I was getting at. Like, in all honesty, like,
well, he'll be at the All-Star game.
There is not a single player on the team that if they get traded at the deadline other than Paul Skeens that you would say, oh, man, why'd they get rid of him?
Yeah.
There's
That
not one
is true.
single one.
Yeah.
No, there isn't.
Yeah. And with
In
Paul,
fact, there'll be some where you'd be like, thank God they got rid of him.
Right.
And with Paul Skeens, it's almost like there's a part of you will be like, why didn't they trade him? Like if they announce a trade and they're like, why? Who cares if they got rid of him?
Not yet. They still got a year or two.
I know. I'm just saying that it's bad, folks. We know it is.
2 years. 2 years, the arbitration year. That's going to be the year where he says, tough. See you, bye.
Yeah.
They're not going to pay him $30 million a year.
I'll tell you, and I'm going to keep singing this song. Paul Skeens.
Paul Skeens has a song?
I'm still pissed off that
he's got a beard.
Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens. I mean,
is that our Brian Wilson tribute?
That is basically
Brian Wilson.
The most we can get out of talking about the Pirates.
You guys.
It is true. We gotta inject.
You guys sure you have been hitting the nowadays? We should plug that on this show. Let me tell you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah, I guess we have to.
It's brutal.
We'll keep talking about it, but I think you know what it's going to sound like. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube right now if you're watching at the Sports Porch Podcast. Click the subscribe button, hit the notifications. You'll know when we're live every Monday night at 7:30. Let's talk about the Steelers.
Let's get to the Steelers.
Let's bring it back to the Steelers.
All right. So
it's always about the Steelers.
So folks, if you're watching, if you're listening, you won't notice, but as Schwaber would probably say, if you're watching, you wouldn't notice either. But I'm going to pose a couple questions to these guys. Then I got to go start cooking,
Mm-hmm.
So
you better start cooking.
So I'm going to disappear for, a minute or two while they banter on about nothing. So the Steelers are heading into camp with lots of questions in spite of the Aaron Rodgers signing. So where I'm coming from is the only question they've really answered is who's number one in the quarterback room, no matter what. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
So that's a definite done deal. He's the quarterback, and we can go back and rehash all the reasons why he should be here and all the reasons why he shouldn't be here till we're blue in the face. Tired of doing that. What are the other questions that remain unanswered? Because I think there's a question at a lot of positions.
Yeah. Well, do share.
Yeah. So I think running back, I think wide receiver number 2. I think linebacker. I think cornerback.
Do you want to expand on that?
No. I'm gonna let you guys.
I think there's a question at every position.
Right. So
you forgot the big one: offensive line.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's right. So you guys, I'm gonna go cook your dinner, and you guys can have at it.
All right. Let's start with the wide receiver position.
Okay. There was a rumor this week about the potential of Amari Cooper.
That would be the best number 2. But
Yes.
right now, do you know who is in the number 2 slot according to ESPN?
I have to assume it's Calvin Austin.
No.
Incorrect.
Right now they have Robert Woods.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right. We forget that they picked that guy up.
Right.
And
well,
probably because he's forgettable.
Yeah. I mean, he's just a guy. I mean, who knows? But he just seems like he got injured. He was a really good player. He got injured, and he's kind of come back, and he's been more or less like a 500-yard, 4-touchdown guy.
Here's where I'm not so down on the wide receiver 2 position, because they did go and get somebody right away. Last year, they waited until 4th, 5th game into the season when they got Mike Williams, right?
True.
And so they got somebody in Robert Woods. Now, I don't think he's very good, but he's a talent at least.
He's serviceable.
Would I wish they would go get an Amari Cooper? Yes. Do I think they will? No. But, I mean, Calvin Austin III looked good in the 3rd position last year.
Right.
And they still have Roman Wilson, who is unknown. Still got Scotty Miller, who's pretty much garbage. And they got Skoranek, who maybe can play that, scat back position. So, I mean, they have serviceable wide receivers there. You just don't have good talent there. That's my take on the wide receiver position. What do you say?
Yeah, although I still think it's better than last year. Because
I agree.
Because I think DK Metcalf is a huge upgrade. No, not a huge upgrade, but certainly an upgrade over Pickens.
Right.
And I think also too, it's, we don't know yet. Maybe they're not going to get Amari Cooper, but maybe they're going to get a wide receiver that's Aaron Rodgers cast off. Right, like an Aaron Rodgers guy who, is a little bit better than Robert Woods.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think we see eye to eye there. Let's talk about the offensive line a little bit. The big problem with the offensive line is it hasn't played together. And you've got, Broderick Jones starting in his natural position at left tackle and Troy Fatanu at the right tackle position where he only played 1 game last year. Is that a big concern? Those guys specifically? I don't personally think it's a big concern having those guys at either tackle.
Well, I think that Broderick Jones is a concern simply because, look, we can't just automatically expect him to be really good because he's now back at his natural position. He's grinded through 2 years of a lack of success and probably wondering about his abilities at this level. I hope that he's very comfortable over there and he turns into what he could be. Yeah. But I'm not sure about it. I mean, I would go kind of 60-40, 60 being that he will be what we thought he could be, and maybe 40 that he's not going to be. Yeah, that's not good. When you draft the number 1 guy, by the 3rd year, you got to figure he's a bookend over there, and he's clearly not that. I mean, I just think that they did it to him, though. That's the maybe, but this is the year he'll be able to to say, "Yep, you should have had me here all along." And if he's that guy on the left hand side, then it's good. I think the problem with the tackle position is they got nobody backing anybody up. I mean, they got true. I'm looking at it right now. They got Dylan Cook and Calvin Anderson as their other tackles. You know who those guys are? No. That's and I think that's probably the bigger problem. Okay, let's talk about. By the way, did you see they had Zach Frazier? Pro Football Focus ranked him the number 3 center in the league. Wow, that's pretty high. I think he is. Yeah. He's the guy. He's definitely the guy on that line. I think he's the real deal. But I was surprised that he was that high after just 1 season. Well, I mean, we shouldn't discount. If he's going to be that good, he might be able to be the guy who calls out the right blocks. And all you got to do is be able to get to the block. True. And that could be a big difference in the running game. Okay. Good.
Okay. What did I miss?
We've decided the wide receivers are good enough, and that the offensive line is lacking in depth.
we have no interest in your opinion on that.
That's where we are, and we're moving on to the linebackers.
Okay, well, real quick on the wide receivers, my take is DK Metcalf is good, not great.
Just repeated what we said.
Almost great, but not that great.
Follow the show.
Better than Calvin.
Number 2 and number 3, I think, is a crapshoot, and who the hell knows? For all the stuff we hear about Calvin Austin, there's been a lot of Calvin Austin.
Come on, Robert Woods is a veteran.
Anytime you want to offer,
catches the ball.
Anytime you want to offer something new to the conversation, go ahead.
Okay, so offensive line lacks depth. Yeah, I agree there. So still a question. All right, linebackers, go ahead. Thanks, guys, for letting me catch up without any hassle.
You got it.
So you said you were concerned about the linebackers. I think this is one position they're plush with players.
Plush. They
got Patrick Queen in his second year. I think he's going to do much better with Peyton Wilson over there. And they still got Cole Holcomb and Nick Herbig as backups. I mean, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I think
pretty good.
I think they're going to be just fine. Of course, I didn't mention TJ Watt or Alex Highsmith because everybody knows those guys are, potential Pro Bowlers.
I don't know if Patrick Queen was a pretender in Baltimore or not, and he didn't show me much last year. I know.
I thought he had a solid year.
I thought he played okay.
Right.
He wasn't.
That's what I'm saying.
He wasn't impressive, but
I
think this year he will be.
He didn't hurt the defense.
I think he did.
No, I don't. I think he only hurt the defense in the playoff.
Well, I guess by hurt,
And
what
he
I mean,
wasn't the only one.
I guess by hurt,
Right.
what I mean is, by not living up to his billing, it didn't really add any bite to that defense, the bite that you thought it was going to have. So, still an open question for me. That's the point. Can he do it? I think so. I think he can. He did it in Baltimore. And he had who's the other dude there in Baltimore, the linebacker?
Roquan Smith.
Roquan Smith, right? And so TJ's there as an edge rusher. Okay, let's see it work now. Let's see it work this year. Year 2, maybe. Watt is now we're talking linebackers and edge rushers.
Yeah. I mean, because they play a 3-4.
Because they're really linebackers, even though we call them edge rushers now.
Well, it's a 3-4 defense.
Right. So, Watt injury issue, no matter what. And we can always talk about his signing when it gets closer to him actually signing. Highsmith, which one of you guys, I think it's you, Schwaber, that it's kind of like, he really wouldn't be that good if Watt wasn't there.
I don't know about that. I mean,
he did okay when Watt was out.
Yeah. I mean, he's a decent player.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I do think he's better because Watt and Cam Hayward are there.
Right.
But sure. But at the same time, I mean, he's still certainly a well above average player without them.
I think he is. I mean, he's got a motor. But if you take those guys out and they can get injured both, then can he stand on his own? And now
he's going to have to.
Well,
That's
right.
the thing.
But the thing is, now there is some ridiculousness in what I'm saying, because it's kind of like, how would you expect him to keep the defense at a number 3 ranking? If those two guys go down, it would be a monumental task. But
their season would be over.
Well, right. I think he's good.
If both those guys.
I think he's good. Who's the Peyton Wilson or Roman Wilson?
Peyton is the linebacker.
Undersized,
Yeah.
No,
totally undersized.
He showed signs last year.
But he's a beast.
No,
I mean, that's a problem.
But he's small.
He's not going to slow down, and he's going to open himself up for injury.
And also he can get run over. Like Derrick Henry is going to run him over.
Let's just hope
Derrick Henry runs over most people.
I know, but I mean,
let's just hope
not Cooper DeJean.
No, there it is. Once again, Philadelphia invades the black and gold.
Let's just hope
Get the hell out.
that before camp starts, he doesn't have to push a sled.
Always with you. Always the sled.
But, I mean, Aaron Rodgers isn't pushing no damn sled.
No, but we gotta hand it to him. He called that at the beginning of the year.
I did.
Yeah.
Remember, before the year started, he said, even before Russell Wilson got injured last year, guys, this is why, we have so much fun with this, because we can call shit out when we see it, and we don't have to play the politics of, I don't know, being on the air and having the powers that be in media kind of poo-poo the whole idea. We could say what we want. Of course, we're not sitting in a locker room with any of these people. But the point is that, Hockey Jesus said, hey, look, they changed their training staff this year, and I think the guys that they got are horrible, and somebody's going to get injured. And like a week later, Russell Wilson was in training, pushing a sled and
endurance drills. I mean, come on.
Right. Your friend Jeff says Jack Sawyer as well. Watch him.
Yeah. Well, listen, Jeff, maybe. All rookies are a maybe.
Do they have Huck Finn as well?
I think so. That's Tom Sawyer.
Oh, Tom
for you.
Gotcha.
Good try.
Probably not a book we should discuss live on the air. Anyway,
ban it.
And
but I mean, you are right. When it comes to the Steelers, they have a lot of holes. They're going to have to figure it out. The problem is, they don't really have anybody who's going to come up and take over for those positions.
Okay, so that's linebacker. What's the next thing while I go check on?
We didn't discuss running back.
Okay,
we didn't discuss the running
I'd like to be a part of that. So if I may, as I go prepare your meal.
Yes.
If I may have.
Do we have a meal tonight, or is it just more a snack?
It's about halfway in between. Okay. And I don't want to burn it.
It's like an appetizer.
I don't want to burn it because I don't want you to complain. So.
Could it be the spinach, cheese spinach dip? I really like that.
No.
That is good stuff. All right, let's talk about the running position. Jaylen Warren, Caleb Johnson, and Kenneth Gainwell. That sounds like a good crew of running backs to me.
It is. I think so. I mean, look, the bottom line is we don't know if the draft pick can play. We're assuming he can. I mean, he looks really good, and usually running back skills translate pretty well to the NFL. So, yeah, I think they're going to have a really nice rushing attack this year. I think last year and years before, it was a little bit hampered by Najee Harris. Just kind of dancing in the backfield, not hitting the hole very hard.
Well, the thing about Najee is he was consistent. He always played. He was always out there.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, that was one good thing about him.
It was like a Cal Ripken.
He's like the Cal Ripken of running backs. Always there, always reliable, and played okay.
Najee. That's inappropriate, Chris.
It's inappropriate. That's on Mark's screen.
Inappropriate. Just terrible.
No, but I think you're right. Like with Jaylen Warren, probably starting, and then Caleb, spelling him all the time. And then you got Gainwell coming in on third down. He's a great third down back, maybe one of the better ones. I think they're going to do just fine there. Oh, and don't forget, they also picked up Trey Sermon.
Yeah, I like Trey Sermon.
So
he can play a little bit.
I think even if they get injured, let's say Warren can't handle it, and he can't, he doesn't play very much because he gets injured. Because let's face it, he's a small guy. I think they got plenty of backup there to be able to make it through the season.
Well, I think probably within the first 6 to 8 games, I think you're going to see the kid emerge as the starter.
You think Caleb Johnson?
Yeah, I think he's going to be the starter. Actually, wouldn't even surprise me if he starts the season as the starter.
That would be surprising.
If he,
that's not a Tomlin thing to do.
But what I'm getting at is, like, let's just say in the preseason, and look, the first team's only going to get out there for like a series or two, but let's just say, like, in the 2 games that he gets out there,
right?
He busts off like a 40-yard touchdown run, and maybe some other drive he has like 4 or 5 5-yard runs or something. I could see them rolling with him. Now, when I say being the bell cow back. I mean, I'm not talking about like, all the carries,
Right.
but
he's not going to get 20.
Right. But it wouldn't shock me if the season started and he gets like 13, Jalen Warren gets like 8, and then, Gainwell gets like 5 or 6.
That would be surprising to me if that happened by week 3, to be completely honest with you, just because Tomlin does a very poor job at bringing in rookies right off the bat. You know what I mean? It just he just doesn't like to do that, and I would be shocked if he did in a good way, because I think running back like that,
right?
You got to let him run.
Yeah,
I mean he's got the young legs. He's got to be a boost to the offense. I can't wait to see what he looks like in camp.
Caleb.
Pardon me, gentlemen. I hate to interrupt your conversation, but your meal is here, and I just want to make sure there's nothing else I can get for you.
Do you have any sauce for the side?
At this
a side of ranch, please.
So what does this mean, folks? We're going to interrupt this conversation to present to you
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
I think the chicken wings thing is so gay. I'm just sorry.
You're just sad because you don't jump in. It's okay.
No,
it's okay to admit when you can't.
I cannot.
Can't be as entertaining as the rest of us.
Bring myself.
What
to
are
do
we
that,
eating? This looks like some kind of chicken.
That gay chicken wing thing. All right, hold on a second here. I have to announce this because
brother,
this is, of course, the Trader Joe's segment. Now I'm going to tell them about it this time.
Yeah.
So everybody knows I work down at the East Liberty Trader Joe's in the good city of Pittsburgh, and so love it there. Great store, great place to work, great people, great customers. So what I do is every week I bring home a food. I asked them if I could do this, and they said it's okay, and they don't pay me anything for it other than when I work there, but that can be maybe adjusted. Where was I going with this? Anyway,
you were going to talk about chicken.
Tell us what we're eating.
Yeah, right. So we're eating something that I brought home. We're going to rate it good, bad, ugly, indifferent. What we have here this evening is, I'm excited about this. These are grilled chimichurri chicken thigh skewers. Everybody knows I'm a thigh man. I did not bring the box with me, but you can see it on the screen. Man? Yeah, pretty much.
A thigh man? Nobody's a thigh man.
Dude, I'm not going to go into the positives and negatives of thighs.
Well, I can tell you these chicken thighs are excellent.
There you go.
I may turn into a thigh man just from these wings.
Pretty good. I'm a big chimichurri guy.
Are you?
Yeah. So.
Okay. Here we go.
Tasty.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Not too spicy.
Yeah.
I really like that chicken.
Yeah.
It's you didn't burn it.
Meat. It's dark meat. No, I learned how to use the air fryer.
It looks like it was previously cooked. All you had to do was heat it up.
Yeah.
I can see the grill marks on it.
Not bad.
See the grill marks on it? See, there they are. Right there. Yeah, I think these are excellent. I would definitely buy these.
I still wouldn't buy them. I mean, this would be like,
every time.
This is kind of like, it's Saturday, it's 3, you're starving, you can't wait till dinner.
Right.
You got nothing in the house. You even have to go outside to the garage refrigerator and you look in the freezer section and there it is. And you're like, all right, let's try it.
Chimichurri, grilled skewer, chimichurri, whatever they are.
And then you're pleasantly surprised.
You're right.
And then you never get it again.
He also says he would never buy it because
how many? 6 in a box?
Amy buys all the groceries.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's always at Trader Joe's, I hear. So, I'm sure she's going to pick them up.
She follows you.
You know who else comes down there all the time?
Oh.
Scott.
Veronica.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Tell me about those.
They're big. They're big Trader Joe's guys, and they live right around the corner, so makes sense.
Yeah. Well, Veronica's stalking me now.
Mhm.
So.
Well, she works during the day, so you're safe during the day.
So on her day off, she came into Trader Joe's to tell me she had a day off.
Mhm.
Sorry, Scott.
You're just a very popular guy
No, she knows I'm just kidding around.
with all your friends' wives. What does that mean?
Mhm.
I don't know, but this is starting to get into really dangerous territory. So
I'm telling you,
let's move.
I'm not letting my
move on.
wife shop at Trader Joe's.
I wouldn't
Okay,
trust
but
them.
she's not stalking me. Don't worry about it.
Although
So-
she did have some things on the list she needed to get at Trader Joe's. I did see it on the grocery list.
dude, text it to me. Okay.
I don't need to. She likes to go over there like once a month.
Yeah, but
She stocks
we'll
up.
talk. We'll talk. Anyway,
Do you ever say to yourself,
I think
like,
it was the 2-in-1 shampoo.
are there ever any like rivalries? like is there a Trader Joe's softball team that plays the Whole Foods softball team?
no, we are in
That'd
our
be
own
fun.
little bubble.
You're in your own cocoon.
Yes. And look at Amy. Look how nice she is.
It is true.
See
She
that?
didn't use the right appropriate words though. She said women.
Yeah.
How do you know, Amy?
Oh my God.
I
Listen,
had to do it. I
look,
had to do it.
At my age and in my position in life, I'll take what I can get. I'll take what I can get. Subscribe to us if you're watching, man, or you're listening and you're a YouTube fanatic. Go on over to YouTube at the Sports Porch Podcast. Subscribe. Hit the notification button. You'll know when we go live, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, pretty much every Monday night. It's a lot of fun, and we love your feedback. So give us feedback. I mean, bust our chops. We're not experts. Okay, we can handle it. Although the Grant Schwabini, I think he actually,
I'm an expert.
yeah, he likes to show up and give his expertise and then go home. So.
He does make great picks, though.
Yes.
I'm not
Nobody better.
There's a reason he's called the Grand Schwabini. 100% with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Is
so
it hockey Jesus time?
no Steelers.
Well,
We were talking about running backs.
Yeah, we
We beat up the running
beat
backs.
at that.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
We've concluded that the running back position is solid. They're good.
right,
Yep.
but as a condition of me preparing your dining experience, which I think got a 2 thumbs up.
go ahead, share with us something new.
Thank you.
If you can.
Good luck.
First of all, I think Kenneth Gainwell is the best running back in the room.
That's a hot
That's
take.
what
That's a hot take.
it is.
There's no way.
Well, I'm just telling you.
You don't
right
even
now.
know what Caleb Johnson looks like. He could be
I'm
looking like a
only
fool.
saying that because he's got NFL experience. He's got better speed than Jalen Warren. He's got better moves. He's a stronger back.
But dude, he played behind the best offensive line in the NFL.
He did.
He did.
We'll see how good he is when he's got to play
But
against
here's the
these
point.
guys.
Here's the point. If he's playing behind the best offensive line in football again, let's say that the Steelers have that, I think he does better than Jalen Warren. And I don't know about Caleb Johnson because I see his tape on at Iowa,
Mhm.
but I how does that translate into the NFL? I think he's
very good.
I am of the belief that's probably the case. I'm saying I'm thinking like, yeah, he looks like he can ball, but I don't know yet. We'll have to see.
I don't
And,
think Gainwell's going to get more than 5 rushes in a game.
Maybe
anymore.
not.
So I don't think you're
Maybe
going to be able to.
Maybe not.
You're ever going to be able to make that determination.
just because I'm saying I think he's the best back in the room doesn't mean I think that he's going to jump the pecking order.
He might be their 3rd best wide receiver, though.
It could be. Could
Out of
be.
the backfield.
yeah.
Okay, so we covered the running backs. Is that the last one?
Yeah, that was
Yep.
that was the list.
We should maybe bring Justin Tucker to Pittsburgh.
We got Boz. We don't need no
That's true.
idiots.
It's pretty stable.
Yeah, I think they're pretty set in the massage room.
Pretty stable.
Exactly.
All right. To my right in the studio, as I've said before, Hockey Jesus is here. Hockey Jesus pontificates his sermons on the podcast after every single Penguins game, every damn game. He gets on there and he has a few things to say. But not only that, he likes to talk about hockey almost all the time, it's starting to threaten our friendship in a way.
It's maddening. I know.
Why?
Because sometimes, he talks.
He doesn't know shit about hockey.
He doesn't want to
That's
talk
why.
about the relationship. He wants to talk about hockey.
Well, hockey is much more important than having fans.
Okay, so anyway,
Sorry, fans out there.
If you're crazy about hockey, and there's a subset of people out there who really are,
there are some crazies.
You want to listen to his sermons. So I said this, and he denies it. HJ is breathless after the Florida Panthers win back-to-back Stanley Cups. So why are you not breathless?
Well, because Florida ends up turning out to be a damn good team. And I hate to use the word dynasty after only winning 2 cups, but they did make 3 in a row, and that's very rare. And winning 2 in a row is dynasty worthy. So I think they're definitely in the conversation. And if you listen to my last Hockey Jesus, I actually am very bullish on them next year. I think they've got enough cap space. I think they can sign Bennett very easily. And if they want to, they could probably sign Marchand, but they have some other contracts they need to take care of too. So I don't know that they're going to sign Marchand, and I don't think that they're going to sign Ekblad, who's their top defenseman. I think they're going to let him walk. He's going to want too much money.
I don't think they're going to sign Bennett. I think Bennett's going to get big bucks because of his playoffs.
I think they can give him big bucks. They've got the space to give him $10 million. They've got the space.
I think he's going to get more than that.
Maybe, but I think if you pay more than that for a 28-year-old and say it's for 8 years, I think that's money. That's foolish money. I do. But hey, somebody might do it.
Right.
Let's face it. So there are teams out there with a lot of money, and the Ducks are one of them. So
it only takes one team.
It only takes one team. That's true. It only takes one stupid team to ruin the whole bunch. But looking back on the Florida Panthers run to the Stanley Cup, I mean, they outscored Edmonton almost every game except for the one they lost 4-3. 5 goals, 6 goals. 4 goals, they lost that one. 5 goals, 5 goals. I mean, they just score. They're a very good scoring team. And that's the thing. Like, everybody knows they're tough. They've got a lot of grit. But I think they're just, I think they're built for today and tomorrow. And if they re-sign Bennett, they're going to be hard to beat next year, even without Marchand. Because let's face it, last year they had Tarasenko on the third line when they won the cup. This year they had Marchand. They'll find somebody else. Like, who knows?
Well, maybe, though. Marchand is a hell of a find.
And they only gave up a first-round pick for him. So, I mean, it was
so
originally a second-round pick, but it turned out to be a first-round pick.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, I did find the Stanley Cup Finals to be a little disappointing.
It was anticlimactic.
I was expecting more from Edmonton.
Yes.
And it was almost like a little depressing, actually, that we didn't get more from McDavid.
Well, when Edmonton failed, they failed big. They only had 1 goal twice and 2 goals once in the 3 games that they lost. I mean, you can't do that if you're Edmonton.
And the other thing, too, is, I mean, you can't expect that your team is going to win the Stanley Cup with what they had in goal.
Well, that's true. But did you hear, I was listening today to some other podcasts, some hockey podcasts, and they said that they made a really big go after Swayman last year.
Oh, did they?
And Boston wanted to hold on to him. And now Boston's thinking they want to get rid of him. So, I mean, don't be surprised if Edmonton makes a play for another goalie. That's all they really need.
Really, that is.
That's if they keep the same team together for one more year. And let's face it, chances of McDavid leaving Edmonton, they got to be small. I don't think he's going to leave Edmonton.
Why would you?
I mean, I know why you would, because they're just not going to win a cup up there. But if they get a goalie next year, I think they've got a legitimate shot. This year, I think they were pretending with Skinner there. And let's see what happens. Free agency starts July 1st. So you got the draft coming up this Saturday, the 28th. Then the week after that, you got you've got free agency.
Is it Saturday or does it start on Friday night?
It's Saturday.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, it's Saturday. I checked it out.
So
that's the off season.
McDavid's contract is up. Is he a free agent now?
No, he has next year to play.
Okay.
Which means they're probably going to go, sign him to an extension this year.
Right.
That's what everybody.
So 0% chance.
So what are these rumors that you mentioned?
He comes here.
What are these rumors you mentioned about the Penguins?
Yeah.
Oh, everybody's speculating. What did you hear?
I heard McDavid rumors.
Honest to God. Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I heard that, I heard that people were talking about McDavid coming here. That's an absolute fucking joke.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
One.
What are you going to give him, Carlson?
No.
I heard somebody on the radio say that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's just ridiculous. First of all, nobody wants Carlson.
Right.
You have to suck up half of his contract. So let's say you suck up half his contract. There's $5 million. Then you pay Connor McDavid. This is a dumb conversation, but you pay Connor McDavid $13 million. You have $18 million tied up on one guy.
Mm-hmm.
How many other guys do you think you can sign then? None. And honestly, they don't need him. I mean, that's the last guy that they need. He's just, he's a talent, but look, you can't win a cup on your own. And when you suck up that much salary, it's just problematic. And I think that's part of Edmonton's problem is that between him and Draisaitl, they just take up too much space. And honestly, Darnell Nurse has got like an $8 million contract, and he's not worth that. So it's not a good situation. It's just not a good situation.
Any realistic rumors out there?
So there are a couple rumors that I've heard that let's talk to Chris Chada's question first. Is Lemieux putting together a group to buy the Pens back, or is that IGBS? Yeah, it's IGBS, Chris. What happened was FSG has had out there for some time now, but I think they upped it. They want to get more. They want to get more money into the Penguins. They don't want to own as much stock as they do. So they're looking for some minority interest. They're not looking for somebody to come out and buy them. They're just looking for some cash infusion, really, when it comes down to it. So the idea of Lemieux and Burkle coming back together, they still own a part of the Penguins. They're not completely out of the Pens. But it's just crazy. It's just crazy talk because of the FSG looking for more investors. Everybody automatically says, "Oh, Lemieux's coming back." Lemieux can be back whenever he wants. FSG has not treated Mario Lemieux well by any stretch of the imagination, but he is welcome to come back to the Pittsburgh Penguins at any shape, in any form, whenever he wants. The guy's just living a good life right now.
You mean by any shape, at any form, like? What if he gained like 380 pounds?
He would still absolutely be welcome. They would create a bigger door for him if he got so big that he couldn't fit through.
He means Wonder Twin powers activate.
Right.
Shape of an invisible jet.
Form of a big fat man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Jesus
so
Christ.
yeah, I mean that's the reality of the situation. No, but the rumors that I heard that I think are interesting are maybe trading or getting something for Brian Rust or Raquel. I think those are interesting. I think it's pie in the sky to think that we can get rid of Carlson without eating some of his contract,
Right.
and they'll probably just end up keeping him.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't be against if Edmonton is so desperate. Why not Tristan Jarry? He's not that much worse than Skinner. He might even be better. And he did play for the minor league team up in Edmonton. So he has some roots up there that he's been up there. And I think that team actually won something.
Wait,
a minor league team.
Are you talking about Tristan Jarry coming back to be goaltender?
No, for Edmonton.
For Edmonton,
Edmonton.
trading him to Edmonton.
If Edmonton's
Okay,
that
thank you.
hard up
Thank
for a new starting goalie, he does have some history.
I just in the studio here, we have us up on YouTube TV on a great big television, and we like to watch ourselves. And I put up Pat Off Track's comment, HJ, you're good for 800K, right? Into the Penguins.
What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, I got 800K laying around, Pat.
You good? Okay.
Pat, you want to double it, and we'll get a 1.6 mil going. How about it?
Yeah.
I'm in if you're in, Pat.
But I want to focus on the picture of Pat.
What's wrong with that? That's a good picture of Pat.
It's actually a very good picture of Pat. As a matter of fact, I'd go so far as to say it doesn't look like Pat.
Is that AI Pat? Yeah. I love it. AI Pat.
There it is. And Pat, you just keep getting better and better looking all day long.
The other thing we have to talk about before we get to our what you're watching is the coaching changes.
Yeah.
Did you know there were some coaching changes?
What? Yeah.
You're not following enough attention.
Well, the new guys
Penguins.
always bring in their assistant coaches.
Right.
So who's coming in and what do you see?
Well, isn't it Nick Bonino?
Bonino's coming in. This is
former Penguins player.
What I'm talking about now.
And this is actually probably his most brilliant hire because he's not a hockey guy. He doesn't play, Dan Muse didn't play NHL hockey. So he's got to get some street cred with the guys. So what did he do? Bonino retired and he said, okay, Bonino, you're hired. You're Penguins coach now, which is brilliant because all the old guys that are still there, he played with them and he was really liked in the locker room there. So now they're going to be able to smooth that over. He can run drills with the guys. He can do everything on the ice with the guys, and that's brilliant. That's really a smart thing, and it allows Muse to do other things also. But the other guy that they got was Todd Nelson. Todd Nelson is the former Hershey Bears head coach, and for those of you who don't know who the Hershey Bears are, they're the Washington Capitals team, the
minor league team,
the AHL team. And they won 2 Calder Cups with this guy. This guy was really loved in Hershey. I, of course, immediately contacted the doctor who lives in Hershey, and he said that he was super successful for 3 years, back-to-back Calder Cups, and a deep run this year. So he's really liked. Players like him. He's a little old school on the way he treats people, so he'll call people out, and he won't take any shit. If somebody's not playing well, they're gone. So I like that about the position because I think for many years Sully was a coach that was afraid to call people out. To have a guy like that, I think is going to be good for accountability and to get rid of the riffraff right away. We've had guys like Poulin and Kapanen back and forth, and they're up, they're down, they're around, they're sometimes playing, sometimes they're not. This guy's going to bring them up. He's going to give them a chance. And if they don't, they're back down and they're not coming back up.
That's what I love about you, HJ. Always giving it to us from 30,000 feet.
That's what I do.
I feel like I was in a hockey battle there about, all the names and.
Well, we could drop the gloves right now. I think that'd make good for good you too.
No, that was excellent. So OC says, HJ, you're saying the Pens' approach to the draft remains the same despite a new coach?
Yeah. They need to get a center. They're looking for tougher guys, bigger guys. There are a couple guys that fit that bill. There are a couple defensemen who I hope they stay away from. It all depends. They're going to go the center route for sure, or winger, somebody bigger, somebody who can play a better two-way game. If they get the second pick from the Rangers, which I'm not predicting they're going to get, I think the Rangers are going to keep that pick. They could go defense. They do need some help on the left side because remember they got Graves over there with a bunch of other guys. Pickering I like, but I think he's going to play on the third defensive pair. He's the only left-handed defenseman that I really like. They got that Kolzhanov. I'm saying his name wrong, but he played okay for us last year, but he's not that great either. So if they're going to go anywhere with defense, they got to get a left-handed defenseman. somebody who can move the puck, kind of like Letang can on the right side. No, I think that's exactly. They're always going to go that way. Don't be surprised if you see the Pens. I think I'm going to predict this. I think the Pens are actually going to move up to get the guy they want. I think they're going to trade some of their lower picks, maybe even their second round pick to move up and get the guy they want. So look for that to happen on Saturday. If they do, come back here and tell me how brilliant I am.
Keep your eyes peeled.
And that's what's going on with the draft. I'm looking forward to that. I think the rumors about Rust and Raquel are interesting, but we'll see come July 1st. If teams want them and the price is right, I'm sure the Dubas would dump one of them, and I think it would be Raquel. I think they're going to keep Rust, no matter what.
I'll tell you what, I'm wore out right now.
I got more. I could go on for another 15 minutes.
It's wearing me out. I mean, it's like almost overload, hockey overload.
Well,
what's next? What we're watching?
You're welcome.
Yeah, I guess we'll do what we're watching because that's how we do it. And take it away, Schwaber. Your turn.
Well, finally, we have reached the point of the show where we give back to you, our fans, our loved ones, our special people. And what does that mean, giving back to you? It means saving you time, which is precious these days. Precious. No more surfing, streaming stations. No more what's on Hulu. What's on Prime? What's on Netflix? What's on Peacock?
What's on Peacock?
You know what? No more. All you need to do is say, hey, I trust these guys from the Sports Porch. They told me this was the bomb. And watch it and just watch your audience just grovel at you. Thank you. Thank you. You did it. You've done it again. You've done it again. Another great recommendation. That's what we're here for you.
Yeah, we also tell you if we think it sucks. It's important to get that in there because you kind of build it up to like we're going to give you the greatest shit to watch ever.
Sometimes we do,
and
sometimes we keep you away from the shit.
Yep. Sometimes, yeah. Then that's we suffer for that, but you do get 45 minutes back, and that was wonderful. We're going to start with the Grand Schwabini. The Grand Schwabini watched something here. I don't think I'll ever watch.
Oh, I wanted to watch this.
Why would you not watch this? This is the total Klein.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, this is great stuff.
What was the first one?
28 days.
28 days.
And then the second one?
I believe there's aren't there three?
Yeah, I think there are three.
I think the second one's 28 days later, and then this one's 28 years later.
Right. No,
yeah.
I think the second one is like 28 months later.
No, it's days later.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, he'll look it up.
Maybe it's 28 minutes later.
So anyway, I went to see a movie, and the movie 28 years later, and it was great. It was really good.
It was 28 days. 28 days later. 28 years later.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
See the progression.
Yes.
See the progression.
I got it.
I'm gathering you. I guess you haven't seen any of them.
Zip.
Well, that's a big fail on your.
I saw the first one. I don't think I saw the second.
Yeah, it's a huge fail.
It's not necessarily a fail.
A huge fail. Well, because let me break it down for you.
This is right out of Walking Dead.
Yeah, I mean this is this is zombies. So obviously, if you liked Walking Dead,
yes,
then this is one.
The same thing.
This is one that is at that same level.
I've watched now. I think almost every single Walking Dead episode of all of the offshoots.
Yeah, this is at that level.
Okay, cool.
It is.
I'll take your recommendation.
So now what's really cool about this one, couple things. Number one, if you can see our screen, the guy on the right, that's Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah.
And
big name.
I thought it was pretty impressive to get a guy like Ralph Fiennes for this movie, who was very good. And then one of the things that I have to tell you, which was really interesting, was I'm watching this, and there's a scene where there's a zombie that's about to kill somebody, right?
Classic.
And I look at this zombie, and I'm like, that looks exactly like Cillian Murphy. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. And so then, at the end of the movie, like, everything goes to black, and it's like directed by Cillian Murphy. So he put himself in for like a little cameo.
There you go.
But obviously, you know how good he is. So a lot of really good people in this. Essentially what the story is here is there is, it's interesting because, it's basically, they don't really call them zombies, but they call them like, people that got the rage virus.
Right.
Rage virus. Right.
And, it's somewhere, I'm going to say like Scotlandish area, something like that. And these people in this area where there's all these infected people, everybody had to try to survive, and there are people that have survived that are on the mainland because there's a military, they use iPhones there and all that kind of stuff. And then there's this group of people, I'm going to say like maybe it's like 100 people that they escaped to this small island just off the coast, and they all live there kind of like in their own little world, but like they don't have any access to like any of the new stuff. Like they're just basically almost like living with no social media, no phones, no nothing,
okay.
Just like going to a schoolhouse, with a chalkboard, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. And basically it's kind of the story of this guy who, usually when you're like 15, that's when you get to go to the mainland and you get to like, try to like, shoot deer to bring back so you have something to eat, and stuff like that. And it's kind of like this guy and his son who's like young, but he's supposed to be really good at everything. So like he gets to go when he's 12, and they go out there, and then, all kinds of like hell ensues. And it's interesting. So it's very interesting.
I feel like I've watched most of it.
You don't know anything. I left most of the good stuff out.
Yeah. You know the premise.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's good. It's very
Why
good.
was it 28 years later? Just because this was after 28 years, and there's some things that have been established.
Probably, but it's interesting though because
but they don't really take that angle so much.
The thing that's kind of interesting is like, well, there's definitely going to be a new one.
Yeah,
because you saw at the end, in the beginning of this one, they had a kid who was running away and like was able to hide from the zombies. And he had like this big cross on him that a priest gave him, right?
Okay.
And so then, but then you don't see him like the whole movie.
Yeah.
And then finally at the end, like there he is, like a 28-year-old.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So like there's going to be a story with him, but I can't imagine it'll be another 28 years later. What's it going to be like?
It
50?
could be his story, whatever, whatever the kid's name is. Yeah.
Right.
He's like doing a podcast about his life.
Right.
Right.
So there'll be another one, but it was very well done. It was, sometimes when it's like the third in a sequence, it's, it's garbage.
I've seen enough of these.
Yeah, it was really good.
All right. 28 years later, the Grand Schwabini. Absolutely. And you've sold me. I'm going to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Start with the first one.
I'm going to watch it. So, okay. So for the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about this one series, that all three of us were watching, but hadn't completed. And the Grand Schwabini initially wanted to give a review on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we decided to wait, and congratulations, lightning has struck. And we have all completed this task in time for it to still be a relevant topic within a couple shows.
Yeah, it's number 2 on Apple TV.
There you go. So I'm adding this to the stage. That is John Hamm in Your Friends and Neighbors, on Apple TV Plus.
Live your best lie. That's an appropriate byline.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say that I thoroughly enjoyed it, and the characters grew. as the series went on. Who's the mom who plays the mom? His ex-wife,
Amanda
Amy.
Peet.
Amanda Peet.
Oh,
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Amanda
lost
Peet.
a little bit of her looks because she's a little older.
Well, she's older.
but much better actress now. I think.
Yeah, I agree with
Oh
that.
yeah, she's
I agree with that.
I think
yeah.
she's a very good.
Yeah, look, she's
Mhm.
still beautiful, but it's
Mhm.
kind of like when they age, you're kind of like, is that? It's, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're. I'm there.
Sorry,
I understand.
Amanda, you're welcome on the show anytime.
Yes, she is.
Anyway,
As is Olivia Munn.
so it grew on me. I'm a little perplexed to what season 2 could actually be.
Well, it's pretty obvious.
Well, no, what I mean is
There's definitely going to be a season 2.
Right.
Yes. So, what I'm saying is, how much further can you take it with that whole
Premise.
premise?
Yep.
Yeah, like maybe one more season before it starts to get a little.
One thing I would say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really liked it. I mean, I definitely recommend seeing it. The only thing that I would maybe say about, and I really can't say it because then I would spoil the ending. But what I can tell you is
The last episode.
yeah, there's no way he makes that choice at the end.
Well, I think,
Zero way. The only way is
No.
to have a season 2.
That's
No.
very true.
You know what I mean?
No, you
Yeah.
don't. So I've got a slightly different take.
Mhm.
I did enjoy the acting, except for maybe the cops. The cops were terrible actors.
They weren't great.
No, they weren't good.
Yeah.
But they weren't the focus of it,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
For sure. They were supposed to be the bumbling cops, and they did a good job of that. But here's my problem with the show. I didn't like any of these characters. I wish they just took a nuclear bomb and dropped it on this neighborhood and everybody went up in flames.
I mean,
Well, I did not feel that way.
yeah.
I just thought all the characters were so horrible people. Like there's not a single one that I was like rooting for throughout the whole thing because everybody's sleeping with everybody else. Everybody's rich beyond their wildest dreams, and they're all complaining about their lives. Like
I was rooting for Ham.
yeah.
Yeah, I was rooting for John Hamm.
So here's my take on
Yeah.
Ham.
Oh,
why
God.
the decision he made at the end, this will be the last thing. He did it because he was in it for the power. And he knows that guy's going to screw things up where he's going, and they're going to call him back anyway. So why not take advantage of him the way he knows how to? That's my take.
I mean, there's something to that, but at the same, like I'm just saying, in real life, he gets his whole life,
Dude, in real life,
you know what I mean?
Dude, in real life,
you know?
none of that shit happens.
You never know.
Somebody keeps a camera on. Somebody sees him doing something.
Somebody's got the ring
Yeah,
on the door.
You know. one of those people he's selling the stuff to rats him out. Come on, this just wasn't a believable move. This was not a believable series from the get-go. You have to suspend belief in order to watch it, but if you do, you'll enjoy it.
It was an interesting idea, though.
That was like a fucking merry-go-round over there.
I mean, I would say though, it sounds like you did not love the show.
I did not love the show.
You're kidding.
I made
After all that.
Yeah,
I told you I was going to have a different take.
Yeah, I enjoyed it though very much.
When you said different take, I didn't think it was going to go down this show sucked take.
Yeah,
I didn't
think so
say the
either.
show sucked. What I said was the characters.
Take it easy, Jeff.
If you watch the show and you tell me you like any of these characters, you have problems.
Really? Problems. Now it's problems.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You know, was the one thing that I didn't fully get though, and I don't think this is giving too much away. The guy who was going to like buy the art.
Yes.
Why did he have to decide to like try to like kill John Hamm?
Yeah.
Like because they had a little argument.
Yeah.
In a club.
That's my point. Another terrible person doing terrible
and
things.
he still got the art. You know what I mean? Like
for free.
Right. So why was he even like worried about him?
Yeah.
It kind of made no sense.
Yeah.
No,
That plot went nowhere.
Well, the premise, it went nowhere after the shit happened. but there is season 2. So that's an unanswered question.
But that's possible. I can see that coming back in season 2.
I'm convinced it's coming back. But
it's definitely going to come back.
Oh, yeah, that guy's definitely coming back. He's a villain of the largest class of villains.
I can say that there were parts of it I loved and other parts that I thought were good. I have no idea what planet he's living on. I just don't.
Pluto.
But I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion. But I'm just like, what?
What? Who were you rooting for?
I was rooting for John Hamm.
John Hamm.
I was reading that.
Why? Why would you be rooting for him?
Because he got screwed over by his boss.
Right.
And, and he's got screwed over by his wife.
He was...
And
there's so many things that he did to deserve everything he got.
Yeah, of course. Right. Sure. You're right. But this is a fantasy land.
Okay.
All right.
Like I said, if you can disband belief, then this is a good show for you. I just couldn't do it. Only because I didn't really like any of the characters.
Yeah, but you would sit down and watch Bugs Bunny cartoons all afternoon.
And SpongeBob.
Exactly.
Yes, I would.
Now you're losing credibility, fellas.
Yes, I would. Hey, I'm honest. Can I say? Moose outside you, told you.
All right. Well, this has been a fun time. Here we are, the Sports Porch Black and Gold. I want to remind you, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, notification button every Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, right here. Also live on Facebook and X. And if you're watching on X, please hit that follow button. We'd love to build our channel there. And go over to TikTok and give us a follow. This is a shameless thing.
No,
Everybody
people need to know.
Yeah.
People need to know.
TikTok, the Sports Porch, we're almost 1,000 followers there.
Get us there now.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, for the Grand Schwabini, and I'm going to drop the podcast right after the show. For Hockey Jesus, I'm your technical director. We'll see you next week. I'm out.
Me too.